Silent Hill is silent no more. The classic horror franchise that we all thought Konami had left for dead is finally making a well-deserved comeback. After the success of the Silent Hill 2 remake, we are not only getting one, but two new Silent Hill projects on the way, one of which is coming a lot faster than I was expecting it to. Silent Hill F comes out this September, late September, right before October, and it's looking great. We got new footage, we got gameplay, we got combat. Thankfully, it looks very simple combat, much like any other game in the series. You got a trusty lead pipe and you whack the shit out of really scary, unimaginable, twisted horrors from hell. And it looks really good. It looks like everything I always want from a Silent Hill game, except it's fresh and new, and I'm very excited for that. And more importantly, it looks scary, it looks creepy, it looks intense. I actually heard that it's going to be the first Silent Hill game to actually not give you guns. There are no guns in this game. It's going to be entirely melee focused, which is cool actually, because I do have a bit of a pet peeve when it comes to survival horror games that rely a little too much on ammo conservation. I like how the Silent Hill series has always allowed you to fall back on melee weapons to start with. And doing away with the guns entirely means you never have to worry about being stun-locked in this game. But yeah, any horror game that always forced you to rely only on guns or on bullets, and you get stun-locked because you're run out, and you don't have a lot of melee options. I've always been more of a melee weapon guy in horror games to start with, and I've always appreciated that in the Silent Hill series. So it's kind of cool that we're getting one where there's no guns at all. It's just melee. So you have to get up close and personal with these monsters, and you do have to, whack the shit out of them with a pipe or an axe or whatever you can find. So that's really cool. I definitely like how that makes the combat more desperate and visceral in this game. And it kind of makes sense. I mean, you're in 1960s Japan. You're this petite little Japanese schoolgirl. I mean, I don't see her rocking a shotgun anyway. So, that actually works for me. That works really well. I like that. Otherwise, they're not doing anything drastic to the formula or the gameplay, which I'm happy about, because we already have an entirely new setting with this game. Very different setting, very different vibe and atmosphere from your typical Silent Hill game. So there's no reason to reinvent the gameplay, the formula. And I'm glad they're keeping that the same. You've got your simple combat, you've got your puzzles to solve, and you've got a creepy-ass atmosphere to explore. And with the fact that they already have a great writer behind it, the guy who wrote the Higurashi visual novels, the story is bound to be great, and everything we've seen of the plot and the dialogue so far sounds very interesting. So yeah, I have nothing but confidence in this game. I think this is going to be a great horror game, even if it is a big departure from what we expect from Silent Hill when it comes to the setting. I mean, it's not even set in Silent Hill. Although I have to say, it would be really cool, because it is still called Silent Hill. I'm wondering if they're going to tie the story to the original town in some way. How crazy would it be, guys? Hear me out. If, you get towards the end of this game, and you're walking down a hallway, and you open a door or something, or whatever, and all of a sudden, you go from being in this Japanese village in wherever in Japan, and all of a sudden you're in, the American town of Silent Hill. How crazy would that be? All of a sudden it's wouldn't that be a crazy, shocking twist? Yeah, remember, that might sound crazy, that might sound far-fetched, but the town of Silent Hill, even though this game is set in the 60s, would still be around. That's a very old town in Silent Hill that has a long history. So technically, during the time of this game, the original Silent Hill town would still exist. So I'm wondering if given that this is a game about shifting reality and dream logic, would it be that crazy if this girl ended up inexplicably in the original town of Silent Hill somehow, and maybe, just maybe, there's something that connects her village to that town on the other side of the world? That would actually be pretty cool. I'd be down with it. Now, the other announcement that I'm a little less excited about only because we really didn't see anything of it, and it's actually kind of a flat, uninspired announcement, honestly, or reveal, is that we're getting a remake of the original Silent Hill by Blooper Team, which, hey, you know what, Blooper? You did all right with the Silent Hill 2 remake. I had my problems with it, especially when it comes to like how some of the characters and dialogue was handled. But overall, that remake was not a bad game. I mean, as a horror game, just in general, and not maybe so much as a remake, but as a horror game, it was a really good horror game, and I did enjoy my time with it. And if anything, I think Blooper Team could do a better job with the original game than they did with the Silent Hill 2 remake. Not only because they probably learned a thing or two since that game, but also because Silent Hill 1 is an older game anyway, and probably is more deserving of a remake when you think about it, because it was on older hardware. It was a little crustier, it's a little more outdated. I really think they should have started with the original Silent Hill, that brings me to another point. How are they going to market this game? How are they going to market a Silent Hill 1 remake? Because it's going to be confusing as hell from a marketing perspective. Like, Silent Hill 2 remake didn't even have remake in the title. It was just Silent Hill 2. So, like, how are they going to market this game? Isn't it going to be confusing as hell for, like, especially people whose first Silent Hill game was the Silent Hill 2 remake? I don't know. I mean, I know the internet can be very helpful nowadays, but yeah, just from a marketing perspective, I'm like, how are people going to know what this is? But whatever. I really think they should have started with the original, but it's going to be when they get to 3, because I'm sure they'll do 3 and 4 as well, that I'm going to be really worried, because Silent Hill 3 has one of my all-time favorite female video game characters, Heather Mason. If they fuck her up, I'm going to be very upset. But anyway, I think they'll do a good job with the Silent Hill 1 remake. It's just that it's hard to be hyped for it now because there's really nothing, we haven't seen anything of it. And it probably just started development, so it could be a long time before we learn anything more about it. I think Blooper will do a good job. I think they will do a good job with it. I'm just a lot more excited for Silent Hill F right now because of all the things they're going to be doing with that. And the fact that it is coming a lot sooner. It's a fresh new story. It's a fresh new entry in the series. It's not a remake. And for a series like Silent Hill that's been dead as long as this, and, not since Silent Hill 4 The Room have we gotten a really good new story in the Silent Hill franchise with new characters and, new environments to explore and monsters to fight. So it's like, can you blame me for being more excited for Silent Hill F? Like, it's the closest thing we have right now to a true Silent Hill 5. And I'm just happy to get a fresh new take on Silent Hill, a fresh new horror game. It doesn't have to be loaded with references to the original games. It just looks like a great new psychological horror game with everything that I like about the Silent Hill series. Are you more excited for F? Are you more excited for the remake of 1? What are your thoughts on Blooper Team doing more remakes? It seems like Capcom, they're taking like the Capcom strategy, Konami, because, just like Capcom's doing remake after remake while also making new entries, I think that's what Konami's going for, except they're not doing it themselves, of course. They're handing it over to other companies. But at least those companies do seem to care and are doing a good job, even if Konami is just like, yeah, we still want to make money off of this brand, so here, you guys have Silent Hill, you have Silent Hill, everybody gets Silent Hill. And as long as the companies they throw this brand out, throw to, as long as they continue to do good work with it, hey, at least it's better than nothing, right? At least these games are turning out good, and the companies that are making them, Blooper and Neobards, do seem to care about the work they're doing, so that makes me excited, I still have shade towards Konami and their past sins, but, between what they're doing with Silent Hill now and the upcoming Metal Gear Solid Delta remake, it's like, okay, at least these brands, these IPs, are being treated with some degree of respect by the companies that are behind them, even if, it's a little cynical that Konami isn't doing more of this stuff themselves. But I digress. It's a good time for Silent Hill. It's a good time for survival horror, even. And, you guys got to give me your thoughts. What do you think? Until next time, you get to burn it and live for the passion.